If you have not watched the last video that we posted about the storyline, today we're talking about the history of the Treason, which we read in the last video. To summarize, it starts out with Johann I coming to the throne as the emperor and kind of competing against some heretical cults, the Plague God cult being the biggest one. And then Lord Marcus is the biggest warrior against these cults, and he goes into the forest and ends up kind of getting possessed and comes back kind of crazy, but stays in the group, you know, like stays seemingly as a good guy but trying to fight it off. And then the infection starts, which I guess is what we're experiencing now, where there's bad guys everywhere around. The lepers and all those people are part of that infection. And then Lord Marcus all of a sudden wakes up like as a bad guy and perverts or turns Karn and his legions over to the bad guy's side, and so they go into the forest. But it almost seems like Lord Marcus doesn't go into the forest. He just turns Karn. Then the Emperor kind of was like, okay, I'm going to start fighting this, and so he comes with Twilight Riders, which are led by Peregrine Plague, and the Lions, which are led by Lord Ivan. And they come in and start wrecking shop. They kill everyone. They take out the torturers, and then it looks like they're winning, and then Lord Marcus shows up, which I guess they all cheered, so it seems like they think he's a good guy.
Was it Marcus?
Yeah, Lord Marcus is the Dusk Blades.
Oh.
So when they show up,
okay,
it shows up with archers from the Black Crows, which we didn't know if they thought those were good guys or bad guys. They didn't really clarify that.
All they said is that people reported seeing Black Crows before the Great Decay broke out, but no one believed them.
Yeah.
So the implication, I think, was that people were accusing the Black Crows
of being bad guys.
Of being bad guys, or at least that's what I read. That's what I understood.
No, that
is
makes
that
sense.
Suspicion was cast on the Black Crows.
So that would make sense why then people were like, oh yeah, they're still good guys.
Yes, and it said, because it said no one believed them then.
Got it.
When they said it.
Okay,
the implication was now.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So Lord Marcus shows up with his troops, the Dusk Blades, and the Black Crows, but they're all bad guys.
Yes.
And so they just mop up and kill everyone. And I guess the Emperor's not there because, you know, he doesn't show up, but Peregrine Plague gets tortured and ends up betraying his people. And then Lord Ivan, we don't know about him.
So yeah, my theory is that Lord Ivan is the guest that one of the notes in random selections addressed to Brother Rupert, is that his name? Written by Sebastian Kerr. And he says, take care of our guest. I'm guessing that the guest he's talking about is Lord Ivan.
Oh, interesting.
Or you are supposed to be Lord Ivan, maybe.
Oh, as in Exile.
Yeah, like
we have a special history, and it's going to become something special.
Yeah.
Or like it's going to unveil itself as we actually have claim to the throne or something like that.
Yeah, that would be really impressive, honestly. I don't really know how they would do that. So that's why I think maybe there might be a quest at some point where we have to go find Lord Ivan. And I think if they play it out, there's going to be a cure that you find, and then you cure Lord Ivan, help him become king or emperor, or at least restore, maybe help.
Well, it seems like Johann's still in the thing. So one thing that I wonder if they're gonna do is they're gonna make these into like the bosses of the game, like Lord Marcus.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And what's the other guy's name? Karn. If they become bosses in like the dungeons, and so you have to kill them, or maybe it'll be like a team of exiles have to kill them like a.
And you don't know what happened to Peregrine Plague. He was tortured. It doesn't say if he was killed or not. Yeah,
that's true.
There's a lot they can do. I'm hoping they do decent stuff with it.
Yeah. You were saying some of it wasn't the best writing?
Not the... Well, one of them was just confusing. Like, the way... But when I read it the second time, I was like, oh, okay.
Do you think it may just be that they're not English-speaking people coming up with the story, and so it just translates poorly, or do you think it's not?
No, I just read it awkwardly
Oh,
at
you
first.
read it. Okay.
Yeah, and then the second time I read it, I was like, oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about these storylines, and I'm hoping that they are able to pull something to, you know, I hope they're able to tie it all together, you know?
Yeah, like any good storyline. If they want to keep the game going, I mean, they'll have to conclude it somehow. So that's the hard thing about having a storyline, is that eventually, to make it good, you have to end it. You can't just keep throwing in, like, plot twist after plot twist. That gets old after a while, so... I don't know how they'll handle that. We'll see.
Cool, well thanks guys for watching, and as I said in my first video, we're going to be releasing one of these videos on the days that JCF doesn't have a normal video for you guys.